What's up, everyone? It is Trainer Tyler here, joined by my good friend Richard the Togepi, and today I am doing something a little bit different. I know I promised you guys weeks ago I was gonna watch Detective Pikachu, and then I never did. But I finally held up my half of the promise 3 weeks later, and I watched it. So I thought I'd do a little review for you guys, and wait a second. These are not our movie reviewing clothes. Let's change that real quick. Much better. Okay, wearing all black when you have a white dog that sheds everywhere. Very smart. So, a little info about me you guys may not know is that I actually do know a thing or two about cinema and film. In fact, I actually have a degree in film that I have to blow the dust off of because it's been sitting in my closet for the past 4 years. And I actually never got the diploma that had my name on it because who cares? You know, the knowledge is there and I just didn't feel like sending that email. And I know I mentioned this a little bit before, but by day when I am not shilling out Pokemon cards to the masses, I do voiceover work. I work in the voiceover industry, as well as writing. I do a lot of ghostwriting, specifically screenwriting. And for those of you who don't know, ghostwriting is pretty much people give me their ideas, I write their whole thing for them, and then they take credit. But hey, it pays the bills. I personally work a lot with like animation scripts and like comedy and stuff like this, so like a family-friendly live action movie is not exactly my forte, but I think I know enough to give like a decent review. And because I'm saying all this, does this mean that my opinions are objective? Are they fact? Yes they are. Everything I say is 100% correct. Okay, so let's just jump right into the review. I have all my notes on my handy dandy MacBook from 2015 that is on its last leg, but I am too poor to buy a new one. Y'all are learning a lot about Trainer Tyler today. Also, sidebar, all of this is fair use because I am critiquing the material, so I cannot be copyright claimed because it is fair use, so leave me alone. And spoilers for Detective Pikachu, obviously, if you have not seen it, I'm gonna spoil it for you, and if you want to see it, go watch it. It's $3 to rent on Amazon Prime, that's what I did. So we open up on the world of Pokemon. We have like free-range Pokemon flying around, and it made me think like, oh my god, I would love to have Pokemon in the real world. And then I remember we do. They're called animals. So then we meet Tim, who's our main character, and Tim is all like, I don't want to catch a Pokemon, I don't want anything to do with Pokemon because I'm guessing he has some sort of deep backstory as to why, and surprise, surprise, he does. But Tim's friend is like, no, you gotta get a Pokemon. So they go to catch this Cubone, which honestly, this first 5 minutes of the movie made me rethink my stance on wanting Pokemon because it seemed terrifying. He does not succeed in catching the Cubone, and it tries to attack him, and I was like, hey, this is scary. Never mind, I'm good with just animals. I gotta be honest, the way they make it seem interacting with Pokemon is not fun and whimsical at all. Like, I went into this like, oh, we're gonna have a good time, and I left it like, oh, get away from me. So that's our main character. He's this run-of-the-mill, average guy. He doesn't want anything to do with Pokemon, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But then we find out that Tim's dad dies in a fiery car wreck because this movie is just fun for the whole family. So Tim has to go collect his dad's things, I think, in Rhyme City. Rhyme City is this place where humans and Pokemon live side to side. There is no Pokemon battling, no capturing, they are one. And quite honestly, after seeing how the wild Pokemon act, I don't think I'm all for this. I'm like anti-Pokemon rights. In universe, Trainer Tyler's a bigot. On the way to Rhyme City, Tim learns that it's built by this guy named Howard, who made this city so he could battle like his degenerative disease and he could study Pokemon or something. I didn't really get it. Also, he's like a billionaire, so you know he's just gonna end up being the bad guy in the end. And spoiler alert, he is. So he gets to the city. It looks like your typical, you know, busy city life, and all these Pokemon and humans are side to side. I think that me and Togepi should have got a cameo because they show all these people like work with their Pokemon. They should have put me and Togepi in the background, like trying to steal from a vending machine. Like I'm lifting him up there and he's like stealing a Reese's bar from me. The director of this movie, I'm not gonna look it up, even though I have my computer in front of me. Make another cut and put us in it. So Tim's dad was this well-respected detective, and Tim and his father were estranged ever since Tim was a young lad, so they don't really have a good relationship. So Tim goes to his deceased father's apartment, and that's where he meets Lucy, played by Kathryn Newton, who has a Psyduck, and she's kind of like this hard-hitting reporter.
Stories like this spread fear, and they're afraid of fear. But I don't fear fear. I walk the walk and I talk the talk, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the honest scoop, and that's the hard truth.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I first met her, I was like, I hope she doesn't do this for the whole movie, and thank God she didn't, because I was like, this is This is interesting character choice. So he gets to his dad's apartment and he's playing the movie from Home Alone, so I was half expecting Kevin McAllister to like hit him with some booby trap when he walked in. And there's like this purple gas stuff that he like inhales. And then he meets Detective Pikachu, who, surprise, surprise, can talk. And he finds this really weird, which I don't understand because I talk to Togepi all the time.
Laddie, now you know what you have to do. Burn the house down.
So he's all like, oh, Detective Pikachu, you can talk to me. And then they're kind of interrupted by this group of APOMs, like 5 or 6 of them, that like try to kill them. And this is when I had to check the rating for this movie because I was like, is this like PG-13? Like, is this not made for kids? Because it was like, it was scary. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, if I was a little kid, like, I don't think I would want to watch this. It was really like, they're going wild. Like, they're going buck wild.
It's time to get buck wild.
Like, it was a little much, and it happens a lot through the movie. So obviously they survive, and Pikachu explains that he has amnesia, but he was Tim's father's partner, detective partner. And he's like, well, we gotta work together because there's these vials that are going around that are making Pokemon lose their mind when the Pokemon inhale them. And so they team up with Girly from the apartment with the Psyduck, and because she's all like hard-hitting reporter. She works for like their version of CNN. I think it's called CMN because very creative. And she knows what's going on about this. So she gives him like her insider scoop on what she knows. And we see that her boss is like the rich guy and the rich guy's son, who is like really, really mean and tries to act like Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada, but it just doesn't work.
You want a story? Find a source. Oh, and pro tip, a reasonable sense of fashion.
But it's very clearly like they're trying to paint the rich guy's son as the bad guy when you know that it's gonna be the billionaire guy because it was just so obvious from the get. I'll get it right out of the way now, is that my biggest problem with this movie, and I know that it's based off a game, and I haven't played the game, so I guess I can't really speak to whether or not it's following the game storyline or not, but it's Detective Pikachu, so in my mind, it's a mystery movie, and there should be a mystery. But the thing is that there's really no suspects. The only other characters outside of the main characters that we meet are the rich guy and the rich guy's son. So one of you had to do it. Like, to me, there was no mystery, because I knew that the billionaires were behind it, either one of them. So it was just kind of like, I would have liked more potential suspects in this giant plot, and I would have liked it to not be one of the billionaires because it was super, super obvious. But I'll talk more about that later. So they learned that Tim's dad's informant, whose name is Harry, by the way, is a Mr. Mime. And they go to like interrogate Mr. Mime, and yet again, I'm like, is this movie for kids? Because he mimes like dousing Mr. Mime with gasoline, then setting him on fire. And I'm like, what? Then they go to like this nightclub where this is where me and Togepi would definitely be. And funny enough, I Googled like if Togepi was in the movie because I didn't see him, and he's like a background character, and he was in the nightclub scene. So it's in character with Richard. Maybe this would be Detective Togepi if somebody's audition went better.
Like, break a leg, guys.
What did you say to me?
I said break a leg, guys.
I don't want to break a leg. I'm going to get the part. That's what I'm going to do.
So anyway, they're in this like underground fight club, Pokemon fight club, like kind of like a dog fighting ring. And it really kind of made you realize like how awful Pokemon fighting would be in real life, because there you go. There's no whimsy or fun to this movie. It's so true to life that it's like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. So anyway, Macklemore from the thrift shop video comes up to Tim and is like, hey, your Pikachu beat up my Charizard, which, yeah, right, I highly doubt. And he's like, I want a rematch. And so they do, but Pikachu's like, yo, like, I don't remember, I have amnesia, so I don't know how to use my powers. And Macklemore gives the Charizard the purple vial they call Serum R, and what it is, it's like that gas, and when they, like, sniff it under the... When they give their Pokemon the drugs, they go insane. So Pikachu ends up evading the fight with Charizard, and then the gas gets like leaked out to the whole club. So all the Pokemon go buck wild, and it looks terrifying. Once again, this movie has petrified me, and I don't even think we were halfway through at this point. Also, Pikachu cusses, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. So they escape from the club after kind of destroying it, and they have a heart-to-heart, and we learn that Timothy's mom is dead too, because this is a really, really fun movie. Him and his dad were estranged, and yeah, that kind of just like shows the relationship he's had between his parents. And I believe, I'm not 100%, but I think his mom died like the day he was supposed to go pick out a Pokemon, and that's why he's kind of like, not a huge fan of Pokemon, but I could be wrong. I should probably get my facts straight before I do a video on something, huh? Oh well. So then he gets a meeting with the rich guy, Howard, who has this whole thing about, like, evolving yourself, because Howard is bound to a wheelchair and is trying to get out of it. And again, it's so obvious that this guy is clearly, like, up to no good. And he tells them that my son, the rich guy's son, this is the rich guy, this is his son, is responsible for this gas, this serum, and they're making it in some sort of lab. It's all his fault. He also tells him that Tim's dad is not dead. He was just abducted by Mewtwo when Mewtwo escaped from the lab. So now Tim is all like, I have hope. So they need to figure out what Mewtwo wanted with the dad and where he is and whatnot. So he links back up with Girly with the Psyduck. And by the way, the Psyduck, there's like a recurring joke where if he gets stressed, his head will explode because that's what they do. And it's just funny to me because it's like, why would you pick a Pokemon like that? So they just like break right into this government facility because like, sure. And they keep giving Pikachu like these little lines and it's just like, I don't know, like these little throwaway lines.
I can't do it when people are watching.
And it's like, I don't dislike Ryan Reynolds. I don't find him unfunny, but I also don't find him funny, if that makes any sense at all. I think it's just because every movie with him is like those sarcastic, like almost like fourth wall breaks. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, I saw Deadpool, so I kind of saw it all. Anyway, so they break into this lab and they realize that they're kind of manipulating Pokemon evolution. They're doing a lot of testing on these Pokemons and whatnot. And yet again, this is like so true to life because this is like what we do with animals. We test on animals and whatnot. And so it made me sad. And then the Pokemon escape or something. I don't know. I was on my phone at this part. And they run for their lives. And as they're running outside, like, the earth starts to, like, fold in on itself. Like, it starts to, like, collapse. Like, you ever see that movie? You ever see Inception where the bridge kind of folds in? It's kind of like that. So it's revealed that they're in this Torterra garden and the Torterras are like genetically engineered to be like giant. So they're kind of like shifting and they're like trying to run through this forest. And honestly, this was maybe my favorite part of the movie. I thought it was really well made. It was a lot of fun. It was just really, really cool. And then they fall off one of the Torterras and then Pikachu dies. And then that's it. That's the movie. Just kidding, but could you imagine? No, but they're led to Mewtwo by like an army of Bulbasaurs, and they kind of put Pikachu on a rock, and then Mewtwo floats down. I'm sorry if it's so loud outside, because I live in the world's noisiest neighborhood. I hate living here so much. I live next to a grocery store, which seems cool, but it's not because they receive stuff every day at every hour, and then also people love to blow leaves off the sidewalk all day. Anyway, Mewtwo brings this guy, Pikachu, back to life and says something ominous like, I brought you to the sun for a reason. I hate humanity, but Pokemon is cool, or something like that. And then the little guy's son captures Mewtwo again, and they're like, run! So Tim and the girl go to like this like Macy's-style Pokemon parade in the middle of town, and they're gonna like announce the news of what they're doing, like they're messing with these Pokemon. And also we found out that the crash was caused by the rich guy's son. Like he sent his son Pokemon after him that like derailed them off the road. So like there's some shady stuff going down, and they're about to expose it. And then we find out, surprise, surprise, that Howard, the billionaire, he's actually the bad guy, and he wanted to do all this so he could put his soul in Mewtwo's body so he could pretty much live forever, which, yeah, we saw from the beginning. The second they introduced him, they're like, I wanted to use Pokemon to find out how I could evolve myself, aka he was up to some bad stuff. So this is his master plan, right? He's going to be in Mewtwo's body because Mewtwo is like this overpowered, can do whatever he wants Pokemon. And Mewtwo has the power to merge Pokemon and human souls as one. But the thing is that the Pokemon needs to be in like a wild state for that to happen. So what he did is that he filled all of the Macy's Styles balloons with that stuff, and he was going to release it so then all the Pokemon are like rabid, and then he can like merge people and Pokemon with one. I don't get it. I don't understand why he needed to do that. Here's the thing. If this crazy old man wanted to put himself in Mewtwo's body just so one, he could live like forever, and two, be like this overpowered creature, I understand that. So then like his motive should be something else, like world domination, as like cliche as that is, or something. Like he should have an actual motive. Sorry, this is Tyler editing this video. I know this sounds confusing. I know his motive is to like not be ill and to be like powerful and whatnot. I was saying like I don't understand why he wanted to do that just so he could turn everyone else into Pokemon. I was saying like if he wanted to be powerful like Mewtwo, he should want to be powerful like Mewtwo to live forever, and then also have like another goal on top of that, which would probably be like world domination or what have you. I just didn't understand his goal of turning everyone else into Pokemon. That's what I was trying to say. The reason his reason being is like, I want to turn people into Pokemon into one. It's like, why? How does that suit you? Why? If we were one, how would that suit you?
Okay, another edit. I meant to say, how does that serve you, not suit you, but you know what I mean.
Can you imagine if we were one? What's up, everyone? It is Trainer Tyler here, joined by my good friend Richard the Toga. Like, to me, it just didn't make sense at all, to be honest. And so all the citizens of Rhyme City merge with their Pokemon. They're all one. Everyone's like freaking out. It's complete chaos. And so he ends up like in this massive battle against the guy in Mewtwo's body. And he wins because, of course, the bad guy like left his like actual body. So the way he connected his mind was through like this mind control thing, like something Elon Musk would make. And he left like his body like just chilling in the office. And we find out that his son was actually good the whole time. He had his son like locked in a closet, and he had a Ditto take form of his son. So the person that was doing all the bad stuff was actually a Ditto, which is kind of funny. And they beat the Ditto, and they smack the thing off the old guy's head, and he switches back to his actual body, and then Mewtwo saves the day, and that's pretty much it. Oh, also, we find out that Detective Pikachu was actually Tim's dad the whole time. Mewtwo had merged his body with Pikachu's body because I think he was like dying, and he was like, I need to save you, or something to that effect, which I thought was cool. I like that they did that because the whole time they were playing with this, like, I don't understand why we can't understand each other, blah, 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 and I really thought they were just, like, not going to explain it, and it was going to be, like, some power of friendship bullcrap, but they didn't. I actually really liked that. I thought it was a heartfelt moment, and then Ryan Reynolds becomes separated from his Pikachu once again, and everything's, like, back to normal, and so at the very, very end, Tim is about to go back home, and then Ryan Reynolds shows up, and I actually cried at this point, I'm not gonna lie, but that's not saying much. I cry at everything. I cried twice this week at the same episode of The Nanny, and it wasn't even one of the sad ones. So, at the end, Tim decides to stay in Rhyme City to be with his daddy, and I think, like, him and the girl are gonna go on a date or something, like, it's like a throwaway line, and that's pretty much it. And that was my terrible synopsis of Detective Pikachu. So, all in all, it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I thought it was really well made. I thought the acting was fine. I thought the writing was good. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Pikachu's, like, little jokes, but that's not, like, because the writing was bad. I think it's just, like, a personal preference with me. I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds, so, like, the whole sarcastic, deadpan, dry, fourth wall stuff, it just gets old after a while. I thought the pacing was really good, too, because, like, when I sat down to watch it, I'm not gonna lie, within the first 10 minutes, I was like, I don't know if I even really want to watch this movie, but I was like, I'll just stick through it, and then before I knew it, it was done, so I thought the pacing worked pretty well. Now, would I go see it again? No. To me, it's just, it's a pretty middle of the road movie. I don't think it was bad. I think a lot of it has to do with my personal preferences and my personal taste, but like I just don't think there was a lot of replayability. Maybe because I think there are clues in the movie that show you who the bad guy is. I think it's because there really could only been two possible bad guys that, like, yeah, no, duh, I knew it was gonna be one of them. But if you're into that, maybe you could rewatch it for that value. I don't know. My biggest problem with it is that I just wish it was more fun, okay? I don't think this is inherently an issue with the movie, and again, like, just my personal preference, but this is, like, the first live-action Pokemon movie, to my knowledge, or at least the very first one in, like, a major market, and it's, like, dark. It's, like, dark and gritty and serious and sad, and it's, like, I don't want that. Who wants that? I want it to be, like, colorful and fun, and them, like, going on adventures and seeing, like, all these different regions and seeing, like, the trainers and, like, having fun. Like, to me, it needed to be a lot more lighthearted, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I would have taken my kids to see this movie. Not that it's, like, inappropriate. It's just, like, if they're 5 years old, I think they would honestly be freaked out by this movie, because it's kind of violent and aggressive, and also I don't think they would understand a lot of what was going on. The whole plot is that Pokemon are going pretty much bananas, and not in like a fun, crazy, cuckoo bananas, like they're going rabid, and I don't know if I'd want my kids to see that. And then I already talked about this, but I wish there was more characters so there could be more suspects, because this is like a mystery story, or at least I think it's supposed to be, and when you have literally the main guy, his love interest, who are working together, so it's not them, and then billionaire's son, that's like 4 characters. Of course it's these two. I also thought maybe it would be cool if it was actually the girl the whole time, because I wouldn't have seen that coming, so. But yeah, decent movie. I'm not mad at it. I definitely won't see it again just because it's not really my cup of tea. Also, again, I'm not the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan, and then I heard that Danny DeVito was up for the part, and I kind of wish it was him instead. Like, if they did Tim's grandpa instead of his dad, that'd be pretty cool, but then I don't know, maybe if it's because if it's your grandpa, you wouldn't have that strong of a connection with the character as much as you would with your father. But yeah, that's my review. Don't hate it, didn't love it, that's it. Can you tell that I have a degree in film? I used to have to do this in school all the time, where we'd have to watch movies that I did not want to watch, and then like write up all of these like 5-page paper reviews on them, and could you tell my skills have very much so diminished. But the point of this is to say that me and Togepi deserve our own movie. When are we getting our own film? It could kind of be like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, but it's like Trainer Tyler and Togepi go to like Professor Oak's house. Like, it could be a buddy comedy, like the posters, like our arms are crossed with each other like that. Yeah, so Hollywood, if you're listening, I'm right here. Anyways, guys, that was my video. I'll be back this weekend with my usual unboxings and giving aways and whatnots. But I want to do more, like, during the week videos that are just, like, different stuff. And I have another video planned that's a little arts and craftsy. As you guys know, I am a craftsman. But yeah, I'm like really good at DIY stuff. So I've got some stuff to make something pretty cool. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I guess you guys will have to wait and see. And that's it. Go watch Detective Pikachu if you want. I don't think you have to be a huge Pokemon fan to enjoy it. Or if you are a huge Pokemon fan, I don't think you necessarily will enjoy it. I think it's a lot different than a lot of the stuff that Pokemon puts out. So yeah, again, it's just not my favorite movie, but that's okay, you know, because like I said, it's my opinion, and my opinion is correct. All right, that's it. If you guys like this video, like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys this weekend. And I am rambling because I don't know how to end this video, but what else is new? Okay, guys, bye.